Welcome back to Black Letter Academy. Today we are going to learn the preamble of the Constitution of India. So first, origin of the preamble. Did you know the idea of preamble first came from the American Constitution? It begins with the famous word, "We the people of the United States." This was the first time a constitution had an introductory statement explaining its purpose. India later followed this tradition when drafting its own constitution. So what exactly is the preamble? So think of it as an introduction, preface to the constitution. It sets the stage, explains the philosophy and tells us the essence of the entire document. See, the eminent jurist N.A. Palkhiwala beautifully described the preamble as the identity code of the constitution. So the preamble basis is based on the objective principle moved by the Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru in 1946 and adopted by the Constituent Assembly in 1947. This resolution laid down the guiding principles such as justice, liberty, equality, fraternity that became the foundation of our constitution. So in short, it captures the soul of the constitution in just a few lines. So here are the words of the preamble of the constitution. We the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. So see these 5 words. And to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic and political, liberty of thought, express, belief, faith and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1946, do hereby adopt, enact and give to ourselves the Constitution. So don't worry, we will break it down step by step, nice and simple. So let's see key ingredients of the preamble. Sources of authority. So the preamble, the very first word of the preamble of "We the people of India." This tells us the constitution derives its authority from the citizens themselves. So it is the people of the India who are the ultimate source of power. The nature of the Indian state. The preamble declares the nature of our country, that is sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. Then the preamble also set out the objectives of the constitution. So here, what is the objectives? Justice, liberty, equality, fraternity. Then the date of adoption. So finally, the constitution reminds us of the date of adoption, 26th November 1949. On this day, the constitution was formally adopted. Later, it came into effect on 26th January 1950, which we celebrate as a Republic Day. So let's see the word by word. So here are the important words: sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic, republic, justice, liberty, equality and fraternity. So sovereign. What does mean by sovereign? The term sovereign means the India is fully independent. No external power or foreign nation can control us or dictate our policies. So this is what sovereign. So it shows that India has ultimate authority to govern itself We make our own decision, manage our domestic matter and conduct our international relations freely. So see, control its domestic matter, manage its international relation freely, making citizen the true holder of the sovereignty. In short, sovereignty means the citizen of India are the true holder of power. The government works on behalf of the people and no other country has the power to interfere in our affairs. So in simple, for example, India can make its own law. Okay, India can make its own law without needing approval from any other country, whether it about education or defense or economy. India decides for itself. That's what being sovereign is all about. So next, socialist. So what is meant by socialist? The word socialist in preamble was added through the 42nd Amendment in 1946. So India follows the idea of democratic socialism. This means our economy is mix of public and private economy. So that is, economy is a mix of public and private sector. The goal is to remove the poverty, ignorance, disease, inequality of the opportunity. So it is important to note that Indian socialism, it's not communist. We do not have full nationalization and private property is allowed. Instead, it balanced approach. Okay. So here India socialism is blend of two philosophies. So Marxism, Gandhism. Marxism which focus on economic equality. Okay, economic equality. Gandhism which emphasizes non-violence, ethics and moral values. Together they shape India's unique path of socialism. So in 1991, reform, liberalization and privatization. So what is that? So in 1991, India introduced economic reforms like liberalization and privatization. These reduce the strength of socialism, but idea still remains important. Okay. So next example, let's see the example for socialism. So government programs such as free education, health care and welfare schemes are example of socialism in action. So they aim to reduce inequality and support the weaker section of the society. Okay. Next, secular. What is meant by secular? The word secular was added to the preamble through the 42nd Amendment in 1976. But even before that, in 1974, the Supreme Court had already recognized that secularism has a core constitutional principle. This shows how deeply the secularism is rooted in our system of governance. So secularism in India, which is guaranteed through Article 25 to 28 of the Constitution. This article gives every citizen the freedom of religion, the right to practice, profess and propagate any faith of their choice. So next, here the positive secularism. So what is meant by positive secularism? So secularism is not about rejecting religion. Instead, it is about positive secularism, which means equal respect and support for all religion. The state does not favor one religion over another, but ensures that every faith is treated with dignity and fairness. In this video, we explored the origin and definition of the preamble, understood the preamble text and discussed the idea of sovereign, socialist and secular. So in part 2, we will continue with the democratic, republic, justice, liberty, equality, fraternity, preamble as a part of the constitution. And as a bonus, we also look into amendability of the preamble. For more law lecture videos, don't forget to subscribe the Black Letter Law Academy and share this video with your friend. Happy learning. Thank you.